Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking something you literally see everywhere, the sweet, crunchy apple, and uncovering a surprising history and a massive global impact that you probably never expected. We are going to break down 10 seriously cool facts about a fruit that has completely conquered the globe.
Okay, let's just dive right in. You probably eat an apple almost every single day, right? Maybe sliced up with peanut butter, or just grabbed on the go as you're rushing out the door. But how well do you actually know this everyday snack? We really tend to take them for granted, but as we're about to see, there is a whole lot more to the apple than meets the eye.
Section 1. The apple's secret identity, biological surprises.
To kick things off, what could possibly link the apple sitting in your kitchen fruit bowl right now to a beautiful bouquet of Valentine's roses? I know, it sounds like a totally random trick question. One's a crunchy snack, the other is a romantic flower.
But here is the amazing answer. Apples actually belong to the rose plant family. It's this fascinating botanical connection. And honestly, if you've ever had the chance to walk through an orchard in the springtime and see an apple tree in full bloom, this connection makes perfect sense. They produce these incredibly beautiful, delicate pink and white blossoms that look and smell absolutely incredible, very much like their famous floral cousins.
And this brilliantly illustrates why millions of us choose them every single day. Beyond the beautiful blossoms and the great taste, apples are completely fat-free and just packed with dietary fiber. It's exactly why they're celebrated worldwide as the ultimate healthy grab-and-go snack choice.
Moving on to Section 2. Deep roots and long lives. Orchard origins.
Now here's a fact that totally busts a massive, long-held myth. We always hear that classic phrase, as American as apple pie. But most of the apples we eat today aren't native to North America at all. The only apple truly native to North America is actually the small, tart crab apple. All those larger, sweeter, modern eating apples that we love, they actually trace their origins to completely different parts of the world before being brought over.
And growing them? Well, it's definitely not an overnight success story. At year 0, you plant your tree, but then you have to wait a full 4 to 5 years of careful tending and growing before you see your very first piece of fruit. It requires incredible patience from farmers, but here's the massive payoff. Once they're mature, these trees don't just produce for a few seasons, they can bear fruit for decades. In fact, some exceptional, well-cared-for trees have remained productive for more than 200 years. Just imagine a tree planted 2 centuries ago, still feeding people today.
Okay, Section 3. The global apple empire. Worldwide industry.
First up, let's look at how we actually consume them. Looking at the U.S. crop, a massive chunk, about 66%, so 2/3, is eaten fresh, right down to the core. But that remaining 34% certainly doesn't go to waste. It gets processed into all those delicious secondary goods we love, like apple juice, cider, applesauce, and of course, baked goods.
So the crucial point here is the sheer global scale of this industry. You might be a little surprised to see who takes the crown as the top producer. China is the world's absolute largest producer of apples, and by a pretty significant margin too. The United States ranks right behind as the second largest producer. It's a massive agricultural economic driver for both of these nations.
And the international demand is staggering, roughly 25%. Yeah, a full quarter of all apples grown in the United States are exported globally. People all over the world want these apples, which really proves that this fruit truly has a dedicated global fanbase.
Section 4. Drinking your apples. The art of cider.
If you've ever wondered why a really good, pure apple cider feels so rich and flavorful, just remember the number 36. It takes approximately 36 individual apples to produce just a single gallon of cider. Think about the sheer density of flavor compressed into every single glass.
And we're not just talking about a small-scale backyard hobby here. Some orchards produce tens of thousands of gallons of cider every single year. And to achieve that perfect flavor profile, they don't just throw any random apple into the press. They use very carefully selected apple varieties. They balance those sweet and tart notes to create that perfect, comforting autumn drink we all crave.
Which brings us to Section 5, thousands of flavors, incredible diversity. If you thought your local grocery store had a ton of options, the real numbers are just going to blow your mind. In the United States alone, there are over 2,500 different apple varieties grown. But worldwide, the global apple economy supports a jaw-dropping 7,500 distinct varieties of apples. It is an absolutely incredible testament to agricultural diversity and cultivation.
So, what does that massive diversity actually mean for us? It means we get completely different colors, flavors, and textures to play with. You have the incredibly sweet, snappy crunch of a Honeycrisp or a Gala, contrasted sharply with the bright green, mouth-puckering tartness of a Granny Smith. Whether you're baking a pie that needs a firm fruit to hold its shape, pressing a complex cider, or you just want a sweet afternoon snack, there is literally an apple perfectly suited for almost every single taste and recipe out there.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. With an astounding 7,500 varieties out there in the world just waiting to be tasted, which new flavor are you going to discover next? The next time you visit a farmer's market or even just your local grocery store, I challenge you to step away from your usual go-to crunch and try something completely new. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep exploring.